watching this special program on the COVID surge with our doctors as panelists to answer all our questions. I'm Nabila Jamal. Diving straight into the COVID surge in the country, we're looking at, in fact, 4 days in a row, 260,000 cases have been reported in just a single day in India. This comes despite several measures like corona curfew, weekend lockdown introduced in several states. The question here arises, is a lockdown, a nationwide lockdown now, the only solution to check the second wave? Now, countries like UK, France have already gone into a relock thrice. Can India or should India follow suit?
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. Sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Never watch the television. Never watch the television. It's the greatest scientific indoctrination tool ever devised. Haven't you figured that out? It's changed the whole culture of nations, not just one nation. Why do you think it was mandatory that everybody in Britain give access to televisions by the government? Why do you think China is under the same program to get everyone with a TV right now? Because they love to have you entertained. Do you really think that? And India is on the same route as well right now too. Most of your ideas and your opinions and how you emulate, because you emulate things, you mimic what you see. It becomes you, you become it. And that's what's happened. It's been very, very, very successful. Never watch the television. You can't watch a movie unless you do it critically. If you watch it critically, not there to enjoy it. Remember what they say, it's your emotions that get you on. And it's interwoven, all these emotional themes all through movies. You're played like a harp. And they embed ideas into you, along with the movies. And predictive programming too. So you'll accept that which is still to come. And you'll behave the same way as the characters in the movie when it comes. Oh well, what can you do? I'll just watch much music or television. Yeah. You're given a mind of your own, and you've got to use it for yourself. And believe you me, if you ever had a nation or wanted a nation, you'd have to make sure that everyone took their turn. Everyone took their turn. Just like jury duty, to go in and oversee the guys that are supposed to be taking care of everything on your behalf. It's a tight club right now. It's been like that forever, because they never intended to give you anything called democracy, or, in fact, a republic. Gangs and fraternities run the systems of the countries. That's how they're run. And under taxation, and it's true what Marx said, and it's true what Lenin said, that with that part of it, all wealth comes from labor. And tax is another term for labor. When they take your labor from you and give you nothing back for it, that's called stealing and slavery. Slavery, folks. But no teacher told you that, did they?
Edward George Ruddy died today. Edward George Ruddy was the chairman of the board of the Union Broadcasting Systems, and he died at 11 o'clock this morning of a heart condition, and woe is us. We're in a lot of trouble. So, a rich little man with white hair died. What has that got to do with the price of rice, right? And why is that woe to us? Because you people and 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now. Because less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, popes, prime ministers. This tube is the most awesome force in the whole godless world.
Katie Nicholson begins our coverage in Toronto at the site of a makeshift care centre. And Katie, tell us more about that.
Yeah, so Ian, this is Sunnybrook Hospital's field hospital, 80 beds here. This is designed for people who are recovering from COVID, and it's to make space in those critical care units for the onslaught of patients that they're expecting. But as we learned today, these measures may not be enough.
Ontario's pandemic numbers have never been this bad.
It's hard. We're stretched. We're tired.
This doctor, already overloaded, now doing all she can to train more much-needed staff for intensive care.
I'm scared that we won't have enough people.
So under the scenarios...
And new modeling today shows the worst is yet to come.
And our progress is both frustrating and frightening.
With current measures in place, the numbers project by the end of May, 10,000 new COVID cases a day, more than double today's tally. Staring down the barrel of a COVID catastrophe, the province today extended the current stay-at-home order to 6 weeks.
And more needs to be done right now.
And announced new restrictions effective midnight. Non-essential construction for things like shopping centres and office towers will grind to a halt. Much construction will continue, including residential. Box store capacity now down to 25%. All playgrounds to close. No more golf, soccer, or basketball. Outdoor gatherings limited to one household. The Ontario border will close to Manitoba and Quebec, but remain open to workers who have to cross. And police will have enhanced power to crack down on people, even pulling cars over to make sure the trip is essential.
And woe is us if it ever falls into the hands of the wrong people. And that's why woe is us that Edward George Ruddy died. Because this company is now in the hands of CCA, the Communication Corporation of America. There's a new chairman of the board, a man called Frank Hackett, sitting in Mr. Ruddy's office on the 20th floor. And when the 12th largest company in the world controls the most awesome propaganda force in the whole godless world, who knows what will be peddled for truth on this network.
Tonight, those tributes still pouring in as we learn more details about the gunman. Right now, Indianapolis police telling ABC7 they just learned that Brandon Hull, who's the gunman, purchased those rifles that were used legally in the last year.
The sound.
Tonight, a community coming together to grieve the loss of 8 innocent lives taken during yet another mass shooting.
We've lost 8 of our neighbors to a senseless act of violence.
So you listen to me. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is an amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God, because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth. But man, you're never going to get any truth from us. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell.
This morning, the number of coronavirus deaths worldwide is nearing 3 million. And cases here in the United States are on the rise despite ongoing vaccination efforts. About 40% of Americans have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine, and nearly 1/4 of those are fully vaccinated. But as Tom Hansen reports, new variants of the virus are fueling the latest surge in cases.
The good news is vaccine rollout is moving along at a great pace. The bad news is the variants are emerging everywhere.
We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
Real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. Now we're looking at that very carefully.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
I had some family that did stuff for the CIA, because my dad, he was someone who would do medical procedures on high-level CIA people.
Whenever I go to a family reunion, half the people in the room are former retired CIA.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about trouble and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.